supplying backgrounds, and they shadows, that kind of thing. So,
well, yeah,
but they are not alone. This is not about that
not.
magazine. This is about a whole industry, and it's not about age either, because every magazine, you know, whether it's the Vogues or whatever, they are airbrushed to hell and back. All of those images.
Yeah.
So those images that even 22-year-old girls are looking at of sometimes 15-year-old models are all airbrushed. It's a whole industry thing. I mean, it's something I've thought, you know, about quite a lot over the years, because I think either you play the game with them, or there should be some legal thing that has a stamp in the corner to say this has been airbrushed. But it has to apply to everybody.
But just going back to what Jane said,
you know, if we all kind of run after. Yeah. So it is slightly misleading in that respect. I know.
Offended Gillian Telford here because she's doing it because, you know, she wants to come back on the telly and do various things, and that is the way the industry works. It's not her.
She's a talented
not,
actress,
you know,
and also she
her.
knows that she would have been well lit, beautifully made up. Certain angles represent you in the best form. So, I don't know, looking back on that, whether that could make you feel beautiful unless you were kind of slightly lying to yourself.
So are you saying it's not get me caught?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but that is the business. That's how you get in the page.
It's great. Good
She
on her.
does look
We've
great,
had lots of
she
emails here.
does.
Shell says, I'm doing a photo shoot. This is Shell. Hello. I'm doing a photo shoot purely for me, hoping to boost my self-confidence and to be able to say, wow, that's me, I look good, even after 3 kids. Because there are a lot of companies who do that now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Jackie says, Gillian looks a picture of good health. She's 57 and fabulous. Why would this make me feel bad about myself? Seeing pictures like this gives me a kick.
The same thing, just before she got married. You've got to step.
It is a dangerous thing.
Still to come. As Paul Gascoigne's friends pay for him to go to Region Time, and if you could do with a nice new motor to nip around town in, plus some extra spends, then take a look at this. Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women. Now making headlines today, Paul Gascoigne flew out to America last night after celebrity friends critiqued that with him turning to yet more binges on the bottle, yet again he is a lost cause. But is it ever possible to write a friend off as that, as a lost cause?
I think I'm so dependent on other people to help them, and when they do that, they can destroy other people's lives.
It'll be absolute
proper
rock
bottom. Absolutely, yeah.
I wonder if, I mean, it's hard to get dealt a fair set of cards in the beginning.
But lots of people do stop it. That's
what else he could do. It's great that people that aren't emotionally involved have stepped up to the plate and said, right, we'll sort you out and we'll be here for you.
Maybe his family's helping as well. But I mean, Gaza, you know, we've kind of grown up with Gaza, haven't we, really, I suppose? Because he was so young when he had this immense amount of fame as a footballer.
23, I think.
I think he was 23, yeah. And he, you know, when he came through, he really was the first generation where they were earning mega bucks. And let's be fair, footballers don't work that hard. You know, they go to training, 3 or 4 times a week for a couple of hours and have the rest of the day off. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff now. And then he was injured, and so he had this absolute adoration everywhere he went, you know, particularly into a stadium. There'd be, you know, 50,000 people just
adoring
a
hero.
him.
Yeah.
And then when he cried, didn't he, at the World Cup, and that was it, and that was Gaza.
He became very famous very quickly.
Very famous. And you think of somebody now at 23 or 24, you think of them, I'm sorry, but, you know, as a baby, really, don't you? They're so young.
He's always been quite self-destructive.
A few times. He's just ever so sweet, wants to talk to everyone. And I think, you know, maybe part of it is, you know, when he goes into a pub, people who go, oh, there's Gaza. Hi, Gaza, let me buy you a drink.
Well,
you know,
George Best is what happened to him often, wasn't it? It was like it was impossible for him to walk into a pub.
I did watch a documentary.
There comes a time when so many people have helped him out and put him into rehab that they're going to have to say, that's the last time. You know, because there is a point
I don't think he's in a position to decide.
A lot of comments, and thank you very much for that. Kelly particularly has said that she has had family and friends who have become reformed alcoholics after years of abuse. And she says, I'm glad we didn't take the attitude that they were lost causes. Everybody needs help sometimes. It's a saving grace Paul has as well. So she's saying that actually they should stick round and
it gives him something to look after himself for.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just very sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is sad.
I don't want to be the last we hear of.
Well, we wish him all the best anyway in America,
yes,
and we hope that it does.
Fingers crossed.
Resolve his problems. Right, it's competition time again, and if you're in need of something new to drive and some extra dough to spend, then cast your eyes over this. Well, now you'll recognise our first guest as feisty ward nurse Chrissy Williams in Holby City. Over the past 12 years, her characters have more relationship rows and family feuds than all of us loose ladies put together. Believe me, that's saying something. Here to share her latest hospital sagas, please welcome Tina Hobley. How are you?
Very well. Got a bit of lippy on there. Sorry, darling. There you go.
Very well, thank you.
Good.
How can anyone be upset about that?
Would you ever do a nudie, semi-nudie thing?
She's not nude.
Like up there, never get a light.
Oh, look, you know those little funfair ones where you look really small?
Yeah.
Oh, look.
This is from tonight's episode. So this is fundamentally a young child who's had previous injuries.
That's right,
Not,
yes, exactly.
It's so true to
And I, you know, as I got the first script, I did kind of agree with her. I thought, yep.
Absolutely. It's nice to have a great storyline after 12 years.
Yeah. No, you have to wait your time.
Fantastic opportunities, because that's obviously why you're still there, I suppose.
And it's quite a small car. I like to sit at home and eat chocolate too, but I'm up to and admired for years. Yeah. It's like working on a new show. It's like working on an episodic.
I'm sure it's Bristol.
You live in Bristol.
And that's the same as Casualty. That's Bristol.
So it's all part of the same hospital, and that's all meant to be set in Bristol.
What's right? Oh, they're all next door to each
Is on tonight
Yeah.
on BBC One at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, really, really worth watching.
And
this
then
double
worth
pack.
watching and waiting. Competition time again, and you could be sitting pretty in a brand new car and a huge wad of cash in your pocket if you win this week's prize for your chance to take home the lot. Take a look at this.
on the way out thinking, I'll put them by the door, then I won't forget them. I've stepped over them. in the car, driven and gone, oh, my age is coming into play a bit now.
Yeah. Don't start blaming your age.
I'm more like you, because I've lived out of suitcases for 30 years, and you had to be, you know, doing one Better Homes filming in the morning, then Better Gardens in the afternoon, then off to Countdown, and constantly on the road. You have to be organised.
Yeah, you do.
And one of the things I always say to the kids, because the house that we're in at the moment is like a little narrow townhouse, so we go up the steps, up the steps, up the steps. So there's like the kitchen on one floor and the lounge on another, and one
Do you forget what you've gone up for?
Yeah, you don't want to be, no, but you can't afford to do that in this house because it takes you forever to go back up
Oh,
and down
I see,
again.
yeah.
So now I just say to the kids, like if Cameron's going up to his bedroom, I said, take this, I'll do it later. You do it now. Like my mother always used to say to do it now, not later. And that's the key to it all.
Be bothered. Do you know what it is? I tell you what it is. It is. You can only remember stuff.
Reality television. I don't remember any of that stuff.
You don't need to.
Yeah, no. After the break.
What day is it?
I can't remember.
It's me!
Right, after the break, the birds of a feather lot are still flocking together. We find out more about Sharon Tracy, who we'll be catching up with tomorrow lunchtime. Welcome back to today's Loose Women. Now, it could be argued that our next guest is the original cougar, as the sexually liberated Dorian Green, her voracious appetite for young virile men was legendary. Now, some 20 years later, she's on the prowl again. Alongside Tracy and Sharon, the three birds of a feather birds have made a spectacular return to the stage. To tell us all about it, please welcome Leslie Joseph.
I am so proud. I'm a very proud Jewish mother of a sweater I knitted myself.
You did?
I knitted it myself. I know. Show and a 7 o'clock show, and I thought, what do I do between Save the Voice, because we did 12 shows a week, as I'm sure you did. So I took up knitting, and this is the result. So I'm extremely proud.
Well done. So you haven't dropped any stitches or anything?
Well, there are, love. There are a few dropped on the. Did you love panto?
I should learn to act.
Knitting.
Oh, no, knit.
No, stage. That was
Not anything to change too much, but obviously, you know.
well,
Still
with the
after
makeup.
the boys?
Still after the boys. So not a lot has changed, but everything has changed.
Oh, don't.
We did not know the lines, and we sat there. Oh, we
That
don't
sounds
know
like
what we're
Panto.
She
saying.
covered it well.
Well, those pins I've had to work at to go back and play Dorian.
Oh, yes.
Because
Same to me.
I know.
Well, that's what I think, because beforehand, didn't you
is
He's fab.
incredibly short. Have you ever done a play when people come back at the interval? An open wine and cheese. Get that now.
Are you going to do
And the
Gillian
tour.
Telforth?
Oh, please, no.
The tour starts in
Get 'em
Coventry on February, in 3 weeks' time,
Yes.
February the 26th. And we wish you
Yay.
all the very best, and obviously
Thank you.
Linda and Pauline.